Do you ever just look at your Minecraft penis and go, man, that's a really small Minecraft penis? This kind of issue affects millions of Minecraft players.
Don't look that up.
So today, I have the solution. You have to force 100 players to build a penis for you. So I gathered 100 players from my Discord to enter my Minecraft server, and I foretold them that they would be tasked to build one of the greatest Minecraft PPs of all time. Whilst being as immature as myself, they were over the moon with this idea and accepted the challenge. But the world they spawned into was too rough and too treey for them to actually build the PP on. Do you know what world isn't too rough or treey for these Minecraft players? That's right, I'm talking about the end. I'm actually pretty sure the end doesn't even have a single tree in it.
The end cities don't count.
But of course, guarding the end is old mate Dragony Boy. So, to make it fair on big man Dragony Boy, I gave my minions only 30 minutes to prepare to go up against the beast. They launched into the world, sprung only for justice of the PP gods, mining trees, stones, diamonds. But of course, me being me, I would have a lot of fun with these troglodytes. Our first event, if you want to call it that, on the outskirts of the world border, I found a lava pit where I would stand, announcing to the server, "If thou wanteth item, come thou shall meet me hither for art challenge." Translated, that means I got a shitty Mr. Beast challenge for someone to give me content, except without the money part. The first person who rocked up was Funny Monkey. This monkey was especially funny because he was red, and monkeys aren't normally red. Isn't that right, Orange Monkey? Funny Red Monkey's task was to create a nether portal the speedrunner's way. Being Monkey, he completed the task and was rewarded with a nether sword. I then found a nice young lad by the name of Taro Mustard, who was also going to compete in an epic Mr. Breast challenge. You see, Mr. Mustard had found a spawner. His only issue was, I don't know, going off estimations here, 500 mobs were in the way. So this was his Mr. Bangladesh challenge. I would give him one enchanted golden apple and a netherite axe. He would then have to kill all the mobs before the regen timer would run out. Sounds pretty easy. I would also think it would sound pretty easy. Apparently it wasn't, because I forgot my community is a bunch of bumbling morons. So old mate Mr. Mustard didn't even survive. Whilst the 30 minutes were occurring, people felt the need to actually build PPs in the overworld. They were everywhere, except this one is just the balls of a PP. Or a house if you're a normal person and not on a watch list. The title of this house was Elppa's Idea Shack, so obviously I had to enter. This is the kind of video that I'm producing. Obviously, I'm running out of ideas. The only idea that was in here was to kill Derek. I liked this idea. This was a good idea. I did this idea. So whilst Derek's death was quite funny and not bullying in any shape or form, we discovered a man who had full diamond armor. Obviously, we had to interview the man to find out if he was truly hacking and take
Take action.
By doing this, we gave him the "you are a hacker" test, which obviously everybody knows. You know, the one where you trap them in a box, you place down a piece of wool, and if they get the color correct, they're safe. You know, the hacker test. So we placed down this piece of wool, and he had to tell us the color. Ha! You fool! That is not pink, that is magenta. Obviously, you are a hacker and are now banned. Our flawless hacking testing process took some time, and the 30 minutes was growing closer till we built giant PP. So we had to choose a warrior candidate to lead the charge into the end. From my amazing selection process using different algorithms based on strength, intelligence, and leadership, we chose the one, the only, Thunderding, who was then transported to the very good person box. You see, there's a sign and everything. This man was given tools and gear to ignite the portal and lead the fellow PP builders of the server into the end.
And then take on that dastardly dragon.
So off he went, digging straight down, knowing where the portal room was at first glance. He reached the portal room and using his divine power, the man lad summoned the rest of the server. Take down the dragon. One thing stopping everyone from building the biggest cock known to man. Thunder placed the final eye into the portal, and the PP army was unleashed upon the dragon. Pillars were being taken down, but alas, the final pillar was taken down in a suicidal effort, not at all pushed by any certain YouTuber with a thirst for content or something like that. And then began what I like to call the punching, mainly because half the server didn't actually have a single item. Some people built a house during the trying times of the punching. Derek was there. Round 2 of the punching began. Both fists and bodies were flying. As the dragon's health kept decreasing, the punching kept continuing, getting one dragony boy's health extremely low. And then the evil dragon, the PP preventer, was punched again, which would be the final time. The final punching, the final victory would spell for the armies of PP. With one final punch, victory was achieved. Now about halfway through the video, the actual creation of the giant PP would begin. For some reason, the endermen of the area magically disappeared. I guess they were scared by the power of the PP army. Firstly, I had to get most of my worker bees to the end in a safe way. Funnily enough, this would eventually hurt me later down the track. More on that later. With the overworld restricted, it was time to begin construction. I split up the player base into 3 teams: Ball 1, Ball 2, and Shaft. The method of easily dividing these people were very simple. It went like this. Oi, dickhead, come to me! Again, flawless method. Blocks would they use to build the PP, I hear you ask? Well, you would assume they'd use the blocks from around the world. No. I just went into my creative inventory and spam clicked all of the blocks and just dropped them on the people. So by that logic, this giant PP will be something out of Frankenstein fanfiction, making it even more glorious. For scaling, it had to be giant, enormous, and their platform was the end. But if you didn't know, and living under a rock currently, making a circle in Minecraft is near to impossible, especially with my kind of community. We needed some form of reference to create the shaft. Luckily, the obsidian obelisks was shaped somewhat circular, so I had people map around the outline of the obelisk to create the shaft's outline. Once completed the outline, I got all the players working on the shaft together and then used my traditional method to actually give them the blocks. For this, a new problem occurred. The shaft had a really good outline, but the balls, well, they were really weirdly shaped and sized. To fix this, I actually used a really easy mathematical formula to help everybody out. Yes, that's right, I used mathematics to create a Minecraft penis. We are getting game theory up in this bitch. Now, the formula, you may ask, actually has a very unique name, and that is, I don't give a shit. That's right, these were the players' balls, and I did not want to interfere with the players' balls. Was I high when I wrote this? Now, the method of giving the blocks to the players at first was fun and kind of worked, but they wouldn't stop nagging. Like, you expect them to do all these things for you. All they want is decent human rights and decent amount of blocks. Come on, man. I'm a YouTuber. We are not ethical at all. Hold on, I need to kill Derek again. So I found the new method. I would randomly select one player from the flock and trap them in a room with a command block. Ironically, our first player was named Absolute Chad 6969. So I knew we were in good hands. This player would then tell me what block he wanted everyone to build with. And of course, being the Chad he is, he chose white wool because it totally doesn't represent something else. The flip of a lever, well, many flips of a lever, the blocks would spawn for all players' inventory, so that took care of that. We flew around exploring the creation that our players had created. The balls had balls inside of them, and the shafts had many other tiny little cocks inside of them. But it was not enough. We needed bigger. We needed better. To solve this, I had one easy solution. That's right, more blocks. Now, we did the exact same process again, this time selecting my main man, Ismakes. Now, what's so special about this little shit is he thought it would be funny to make a block choice cake. Yeah, that's right. Cake. You know, cake. So now the problem with cake is it does not stack at all. It just caused mess, pain, and inventory space to be bloated. But I believe in second chances, so I gave Ismakes another chance to choose an appropriate block. That was a mistake. Guess what block he chose? Farmland. Yeah, this was a horrible idea to begin with. So in complete disarray and disappointment, I left my server alone for an hour to create something truly magical. When I returned, I discovered something that would truly take my breath away. In the overworld, they created a cult. This cult hated people of the end dimension. Yeah, so there was like a war between these two nations. They tried to recruit me to their side, and they said they had Jesus, which, well, they weren't lying about. They also had an Among Us character. If it weren't for the Jesus statue, I'd say they won a one-way ticket.
The hell?
Before you enter the end dimension, you're met with a lot of rubble to stop you from going into the end. Goddamn Mad Lads created racism about a Minecraft penis. There is also a small green peepee that says small peepee, so I guess that's a slur or something in this server. When you enter the end dimension, there's just penis everywhere. And of course, our giant, our high and mighty, the truly Master Cock, which I'm actually now going to be changing the name from Master Cock to Frankenstein Master Cock, because one of the balls is taller or as tall as the shafts. No words in the English dictionary, let alone any dictionary, are used to describe this. Just bruh. And that is it for the Master PP building video. Also, I thought, yes, I actually do have another trick up my sleeve that I didn't even know about. You see, when I last did a video that was somewhat similar to this, I left my server for a few days and they created something magical. The complete opposite happened here. Not because the PP was an abomination beyond all repair. No. You remember that war that I kind of was like hinting at? Yeah, that completely happened. I tried hopping onto my server a few days after to take some screenshots for a thumbnail or do some final cinematics. Though I couldn't do that because all I was met with was destruction and chaos. You see, the war actually ended and the winner was nobody. Penis was blown up, the balls were just in ruins, and everything was on fire. Even Among Us was destroyed. The only thing that survived was Jesus. So I guess the moral of this story is Jesus hates penis. Hey, thank you so much for watching. This video probably going to be demonetized, so like I said in the start, I really appreciate if you do smash like, leave a comment, share it, subscribe. If you also do want to participate in these kind of videos, you can join my Discord. There's other stuff in the description. You can click all the links. I don't know. The video was actually supposed to be a commentary video, but the audio kind of screwed up, and then cinematics kind of screwed up, so I had to script it and stuff. So let me know if you enjoyed it. Anyway, catch you later. Bye.